Welcome back, everybody, to Solargene. This is episode 3, and this episode we will be going to the moon. Previously, we did our first ship contract. We have gotten our research going, and it looks like we are about 20% done with recombination engines. Oh, let's dive right back in. Waste no time at all. Let's check out what we got. Some rewards going on in here. Quantum chips. So I do know in the previous episode what we were doing is we were doing ship contracts in order to try and get not only our money up, but to get reward items so we can get and pay for our recombination engine. It's been a little bit since I've done a recording, so I'm gonna go ahead and familiarize myself with the new station. Well, our old station. We'll be building a new one soon. I know, just out of my own habit, this ship's not going anywhere. It's staying here around Earth. This is my research vessel. It usually is... It'll get upgraded as the research goes on. But for now, it's doing everything it needs to do. We're making nanomaterials, nanosensors, and we're also making carbon electronics. Excellent. It's the two things that we need to be able to build our recombination engines when they're done. So it looks like this is pretty much self-sustaining, and we're lacking a little bit of research power. 1, 2. I don't know that 2 points of power is really going to do much, but you know, let's just give it to them anyway. Why not? Let the scientists finally get what they're asking for. 2, and a third one just for good measure. Not gonna hurt. No. That station's good. Don't have to worry about that. Let's go ahead and get our second station going, and this one's gonna end up carrying us to the moon. This one will be our moon vessel. Launch a new station to orbit. And as you can see, we got a ton of money. We've been doing ship contracts, research contracts. We've been getting paid handsomely. Let's use some of that money. 500. Change up where we're buying it from. Again, check your prices if you really feel like you need to. I always just buy from the people that are going to end up crewing the station. Makes me feel good. Giving back to those that are coming back to you to do work for you. Increase this amount. Maybe we don't have to buy so much later. There we go. And 1,000 oxygen. Perfect, perfect, perfect. I don't have the increased batteries yet, so there's no point in getting carbon. Let's put our order. Speed up time a little bit. Yeah. See. Oh, this is usually, before I do my order, this is usually why I do a smaller order and then upgrade the storage room, because it's just, you know, this is typically what you need in order to go and build a decent station to start. So the fact that you can't get all of this is a little frustrating, but it's alright. We'll just tone it down a little bit. I'll keep those in order. You don't want to cancel them because you already paid for it, so there's no point in canceling it, otherwise you're just gonna lose your money. So let's just do this. 500, 500, and if you noticed, I think that actually might have been a little, I might have put 1 extra 0 there by accident, and that's probably why it didn't work. It looks like this one's gonna deliver. Yep, it delivered. Alright, cool. Let's go back to station. And you've seen my previous videos and even my walkthrough guide on Steam. You will know this is how I build every ship. And actually, now that I'm placing more storage, you'll notice that that shuttle's gonna start bringing those other goods in. So probably just avoided having to buy the next set of resources to get there. This is definitely overkill for your storage. But I don't want to have to come back to my storage right now. Really don't. Vacate that, get rid of it. It is definitely so much in our way. Need my diffusers. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 6 is my golden number for diffusers to start. Now, do battery, delete that, put a solar panel there, and let's build this out to match. Done. Build you out. Done. Batteries. Go ahead and get a little bit more gas and liquid storage. Alright. That should cover our power. That should cover our diffuser needs, our liquid and gas storage needs, our raw storage needs. I'm gonna go ahead and just do the gun, just to get it over with. I'll probably only need one. Yep. And let's build the rest of the station. 1, 2, 3. Give yourself some more room for expansion. That's 4 tall, meaning you'll be able to do 4 stories of this. And that is plenty. You know, you could build out. I can add another. In fact, we are going to. We're going to add a fixed station first. I want to remove these side doors. It's annoying that it does that. And now, station modules. Looking for the shuttle docks. I always like doing this because I think 1 port for shuttles is just not enough. 2 just kind of helps everything move along quite nicely, and then of course you open this whole other half of your ship up by removing that 1 dock. And now you could build on this side if you wanted to. You know, normally you would be restricted because of the docking station, but this is why I build up. Put another one there. You also double the amount of ports. Give it a little bit of room just in case you need to add something to that section, and then go ahead and add your rotating section. Minimum's good. You know, you want to keep this sucker small. Especially since this is going to be what takes us to the moon. This is going to take us to the moon. 1, 2 for the toilets. Showers. Let's go ahead and run a hallway. 1, 2, 3. And we'll do... I kind of like to do all of the like special care needs all in one area, and actually I'm remembering now that the centrifuge is a pain in the butt. So the hospital got bigger since 0.14 dropped. And that's just because of the hospital equipment. That centrifuge takes two by two. That there. Now, what is nice is a lot of this stuff doesn't require, like, that's ridiculous. And you don't need a decompression chamber. I have another playthrough where I was testing 0.14 mechanics, and I never once went through the hyperbaric chamber until very, very late in the game. So we're going to use a centrifuge for the first one. I think this also requires 2-story clearance. Let's check that, actually. 2, 1. And yeah, you see you won't be able to build there because of the centrifuge. But that. So no, this actually does not require a 2-floor clearance, which is really nice. Leave that down there. And put this surgical table there. That's a nice little fit. Give ourselves a nice 10-spot heater. There we go. Alright, hospital beds. I always just do a fully stocked medical room. I mean, again, minus the hyperbaric chamber. It's unnecessary at start. And I know nobody's getting cancer anytime soon, but that's for the extra capacity. This is essentially what it is. And it avoids you having to add, you know, an extra surgical table or something like that. That is much smaller than anything else you'll have to add in here. So we'll do that. Get rid of that door. We'll do a smaller door and then another smaller door. Kind of keep, you know, they don't have to keep going in and out of there. Less clutter in the hallways. That. This. 2, 3. In case you didn't know, when you do your doors, the side that you're on actually does matter. I can keep placing it on that side, or I can place it on that side. So, like, move your mouse to the side that you want the smaller door on. For the larger ones, it takes up a whole block, so it doesn't matter. And now, our showers. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Go. Those 2 rooms should be good. Go ahead and get our spacious living room set up. Now these beds got a lot smaller in 0.14. It's really nice because you can add so much more people into a smaller room. And I'm telling you, if you don't use the spacious living room, find some way in your heart in order to open it up again so you can, because it's so much easier. Like, look at this. I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. I have 16 people in a 4x2. Or, sorry, a 2x2. 4 blocks. You use your apartments and you're only getting 4 people. You know? So, math. Okay. Always good again. I always like to check my temperatures, just make sure they're holding good. They are. Nice. Alright. Let's get a rec room down here. Always at our door. Hamster ball. Your best friend. Absolutely your best friend. Especially early on, keeps the comfort level at 100% until you start getting into meals. And we don't do that until you get to the moon and you're growing food on the surface. If you try to grow food out here, it's a train wreck. Absolute train wreck. Okay, so 12 people there. Let's check how many we can hold here. 39, definitely. We definitely won't have 6 doctors. But this is good. This is good. And then the canteen. Again, overkill. But this is going to be your orbiter above the moon. So while you are carrying extra weight, it's not going to be fully stocked. And rooms and whatnot are not a lot of weight. It's mostly your cargo capacity and your fuel that you have to worry about weight with when you're traveling. So, but we'll get there when we finish our recombination engines. Now I know for a fact it makes sense. It also kind of sucks. You need a biotechnic room in almost every single ship that you do now. There's an argument for not having it. But for the most part, I'm going to recommend keeping a fully equipped biotechnic room on all your ships. And while I know this is huge, ridiculously huge, for a room that's going to hold like 2 pieces of equipment and maybe 1 person, because you don't need 2 people on this with a small colony. This is the only machine. Oh no, I'm sorry. Oh no, it is the only machine. This is the only machine on the start that has 2 people, and you're not using that much hydrocarbons. You're also not making enough bio waste to justify having 2 people working on this. So you really only need 1 biotechnician, regardless of how many pieces of equipment you decide to put in here. And that is at the start. When you start growing a colony on the surface, and that colony is, you know, 30, 40, 50 people strong, then yeah, you can go ahead and probably get 2 or 3 biotechnicians if you even need it. But for right now, it's definitely unnecessary. Even if you were doing the artificial organ machine, you know, the one biotechnician is not going to be utilized to 100% of their capacity. And then the other thing, for your industrial zone, this is one other thing that I kind of recommend doing for every ship. This just kind of, and you can see we're running out of power here. The automatic shutdown. Remember, carrying us to the moon. Might as well scale it up. And then when we get to the moon, you're going to need even more solar generation anyway, because you're moving further away from the sun. So I don't ever use carbon dioxide scrubbers. You could use the carbon dioxide for other things. For one, making carbon. which is actually a very nice resource to be making. And then you need a water electrolysis machine? I don't even know how I would say that. But yeah, you need one of these water machines to convert water into hydrogen and oxygen. And then, of course, so you're not burning all of your water, go ahead and make sure you set your production restriction for hydrogen. You don't need any more than 50, even if you are using hydrogen for production. It doesn't... I'm pretty sure your lithographic machine uses the most hydrogen, and that's 0.08. Unless, of course, you're turning hydrogen back into water. Oh, well, or if you're making liquid fuel, which, don't make liquid fuel. It's so inefficient. It's so terrible. And you don't have good crafting, like, you don't have good generation of any of these resources that it requires at the start. So, just avoid it at all possibilities. Replace that small one with a large. And you could, you can make polymers if it tickles your fancy. Because polymers are a good thing to have. And not have to pay for it, because you use a lot of them. So let's actually make this. Yeah. There we go. Coming together. Alright, cool. The only thing we are missing now is our repair maintenance room. Although, I'll say this, the only thing we're missing that is actually required to maintain the ship is a maintenance room. We are going to add a lab on here for research because I'm not waiting on the recombination engines. I want more. I want more research power. I want to blow through that research tree so that we're done with it before we even go beyond the inner asteroid belt. So, let's get the lab set up. I think that's a decent sized lab, and then we can do just one spot for the solar room. Take off the fence because I don't like that look. I like my walls, keep them separated, especially since, temperature changes between the two rooms don't actually interact with each other. It seems weird to me when I have a room go negative and then there's the fence that's allowed and like the other room's like boiling hot. Couple resources that we're missing in order to keep these guys going. So 120 of those. I think we got that. But let's get the workplaces in here first. And actually, let's check our rewards again. Unique magnetic properties. Nah, there's nothing. And we are going to need one of these in. So, if you don't know what this little add to cart button does, what it does when you click it is it'll take all of those resources that you see there on the bottom when you're hovering over whatever thing you're trying to buy. It will take those costs of building and put them into your buy screen. Now, on some of this high-tech stuff, you're probably like, well, that doesn't help because you can't buy that stuff. Well, what you can do, leave your station, go to another station, and go to the send screen. Select your destination and hit from cart. Look at that. Added the whole entire cart to our send, and I don't have to go through. It's just a nice, easy way. Like if you have like this, you have a station that produces your high-tech equipment, and you have a new one that needs high-tech materials. hit that buy button inside whatever equipment that you're trying to do, and that way you could easily have the list of required resources already done for you. You don't have to manually remember or keep switching back and forth in order to populate it. Let's go ahead and speed this up. Actually, we could go ahead and place, we're going to do another six-man team. 2 of each type of research. 1, 2. 1, 2. And go ahead and check your pedestrian paths. Yeah, we're all good. You're all good. Saw that. Yeah, there's my shuttle. Let's check our power. Ooh, look at the consumption by the generation. So we're definitely not making enough. We need about twice that amount. This is gonna be overkill as far as what research power required. But that's okay. Overkill is good. Sometimes. Early on, it's definitely good because as you scale, you won't have to scale this. Nice. Alright, that covers those. Let's get our power going and then we will prep for the crew. So, you'll notice I built almost this entire station without even having a crew on board, and that goes a part of my infrastructure first strategy. You gotta have the ship or the station set up ready for the crew before you even think about the crew. And then it needs to be like full tested. You know, you got to make sure that it is not going to fail, that it's not going to kill your crew, because the last thing you want to do is do all this work and then you hire, you know, your whole entire crew, even if it's 3 or 4 colonists, and one of them dies. You got 2 more deaths of the same country before you lose that country. And in my opinion, when you lose a country, that's game over, even if it's just one. Because you can't fully colonize the entire solar system at that point. You'll always be one country down. So, tried and true, your infrastructure needs first, and then hire your crew. That will eliminate a lot of unintended mistakes. Not that any mistake is intended. Unintentional mistakes. Again, not that any of them are intentional. Nanobots. Are we researching nanobots? We are researching nanobots. Gene therapy is really what I want to get paid for right now, though. We are getting quantum chips for it and some ultra lightweight materials, whatever. You know what I don't see, though? I don't see any recombination fuel, which is bad juju for when we want to go to the moon, because we're using recombination engines. So, before we get into that whole mess, let's hire the crew. Alrighty. Always Always, first thing you do when you go to that higher screen, check your country. I cannot tell you how many times I have gone to do a colony contract and you get to the final point to where you're hiring your crew and you hire the wrong crew. That's a deal breaker. And I have had it sometimes to where you're going down to the wire as far as the time is concerned. So just double check your country of origin before you hire your people. Therapist is always good to have. They're the ones that do the human centrifuge. Infectious disease, you don't really deal with them too much, so you can kind of go for your other two doctors, or one if you go with the 2-doctor rule. Never do less than 2, because, you know, doctor cannot heal thyself. I do 3 just to round out the numbers. But you always want a good therapist. And then the rest of them will kind of, you know, they'll gain experience as they go on. For this, you need 2 of each. And you don't want them to be like this where they're dual specialized. You want a specialist. So that... There's our 2 physicists, biologist, an engineer, another engineer, and we'll take this guy who's very untrained. Let's go ahead and get our biotechnician. Honestly, I go for somebody who's not even trained in this category, or they're just the recyclers. Because that's all you're doing right now, is just recycling. You're not growing fabric, you're not growing organs, you're not getting food, you're not doing pharmacist stuff, so he'll do for now. And again, you only need 1 biotech. Don't go crazy. Nice, we got a repair. Let's do 2 repair guys. And a techno. You know what? 3 repair guys and a techno. 3, 9, 10, 14. That's not bad. And you know what? This is all we'll ever need to take us to the moon. And even maybe a little overkill. But that's alright. People don't weigh that much as far as... One colonist isn't going to need, you know, an extra 1,000 recombination fuel for you to move them to the moon. Nice. Keep them coming, keep them coming, keep them coming. And don't forget, go to your research, guys, and uncheck the skills you do not want them to use. Otherwise, you're gonna have your physicists working on an engineering bench and not utilizing any of their physician technique skills. Ah, that's right. Alright, so that's my repair guy. That's my repair guy. There's the technologist. Those 3 are repairs, and we need 2 more seats in the relaxation room. Relax room. Alright. 1, 2. And I know these are dual seats. Again, this isn't that much weight. And my OCD won't let me do just 1. It needs to be even. It must be even. Alright, and then I actually just noticed that we did not build our maintenance room. Whoopsie. And I'll reiterate it. Until you get the later blocks to make better rooms, 7% protection. That's what you want. 2, 3. About. There we go. Alrighty. Let's double check that. Everybody is set. Nice. Speed that up. Everybody will be getting to work. And then one other thing we need to remember, let's go ahead and put a production limit on our oxygen so we don't burn through all of our water. Alternatively, you could put a consumption restriction, but that also restricts consumption even for foodstuffs or anything like that. So I always tend to lead toward setting your production limit for the output resource rather than restricting use of the input. And don't be afraid to spend your money. We only spent 20 million, 30 million on this station. Excuse me. We have 80 more. And then once we get to the moon, all that helium-3. That's the golden ticket to paying your way through the rest of the solar system. So really what I'm looking for right now is recombination fuel as a reward. Rename this to Moonbound. Dang. Our Earth orbiter. Looks like we need to upgrade the research power. Our guys are getting really skilled. So let's go in there and we'll get that taken care of. Also need to check on our nanosensor production, because it doesn't look like it's... I don't think we're still producing nanosensors. No, because of our carbon. So, let's go ahead and buy about 5,000 more of that, about 5,000 more of that. How's our water level? 2194. Let's put it up to a good safety standard. 5,000. We haven't even touched our medicines. Need more electronics. And rations are all good. Purchase. And now it's a game of hurry up and wait. Later on, when we get our station down on the moon, these high-tech people will be transferred. I don't like making high-tech this early on ships or orbiters. It's inefficient, and you're going to end up carting resources more often than you want to. My main focus is to try and make every station of mine, every ship of mine, completely autonomous. I don't want to micromanage. I know this is a game of micromanagement, but the less you micromanage, the more you have to focus on expanding, getting further into the solar system, and all of that. So... eliminating things like this, like a high-tech room, early on will help you not have to micromanage so much. And then also, I've heard of people who like to unassign, reassign their colonists. I don't really know why. To be honest, once I set my people, I rarely ever, unless there's a problem that I have to work out manually, do I ever go through my colonists and I'm like, let me unassign you so I can reassign somebody else. Like, if you're doing all that, there's a your setup needs some changing. there should definitely never be that much micromanagement involved. So yeah, we don't quite have enough, but we are producing nanosensors, so that's good. We could go ahead and clear this room and put just a single boom. Alright, got plenty of computing power now. I don't need money, so I'm just going to let those rewards stay there, because that's free storage right there, and they're not going anywhere. There's no time limit that those could even disappear. So no rush on claiming rewards. And again, just looking for some recombination in fuel for, there's some, but we don't have helium-3, so gotta wait for another contract. And this is where your solar system view comes into play. Save it, so you've got a nice save point in case something goes wrong, and turn that sucker up. You know, and this is why I like to make my stuff autonomous, because I could just pretty much leave these guys right here, except for that water count. Ouch, what happened? Where did our water go? Who stole all the water? Just topping off some resources for maintenance levels. 236 puts you up there at 500. And that looks good to me. Alright, good. 5,000 water again, 5,000 water there. Alright. Keeping our happiness at 99%. Nice. 201 sensors, carbon electronics. Looks like we're out of carbon, and we are out of iron. Let's get another 5,000 carbon, get another 5,000 iron. Got another 1,000 of that. Steel. And let's set that. That's the other thing I remember is we are making polymers here. Good, we already put the production restriction. If you're like me and you don't like you know, it doing that, just right click on a planet and it'll follow the planet. Our nanobots are flying. Let's see if we can get paid a little bit more for our nanobots research. Anybody got a nice research contract they want to throw our way? Nanobots? Yeah, thanks China. Thanks for that $12 million. Did we already do unrelenting immunity? And you know what, actually, we're not doing any medical research, so let's just do unrelenting antibiotics. I'm not expecting to finish it or even put a dent into it right now, but at least we'll get something of it started instead of just letting medical people just sit there and pound on a keyboard. And here's another 12 million from India for nanobots. Recombination fuel. Nada. Again, need that helium. Haven't gotten there yet. Taking a look if you could buy. Nope. Worst case scenario. Oh, well, we did get 2,400 from that contract. Let's far as recombination fuel is concerned, but I don't think that's going to be enough to carry us over. Not on its own, anyway. No. This is the game. This is the game early on, and sometimes just keeping track of your research, making sure that it's always going, and then hurrying up and waiting for certain researches to finish. And again, you wouldn't really have to worry, or you wouldn't really have to wait so long if you weren't doing my strategy of using recombination engines to get to the moon. It is perfectly viable to be able to do nuclear engines or your first starting out engines. I just think you're going to spend a ton of money on liquid fuel. Or if you craft liquid fuel on your own, you're still going to spend a ton of money on the resources required to make it. So, yeah, angry Europe. What happened? Why are we so angry, Europe? Oh, because Moonbound ran out of water. Why did we run out of water when we have dirty water here? Ah, because we don't have carbon, people. Whoa, not 10,000. 1,000. 1,000 of that. And while we're at it, we will go ahead and get about 1,000 more water, just because. Yeah, there we go. All right. And that 61% should definitely start climbing. It's the morale that needs to climb. Just remember that we forgot to set our maintenance level to 90%. Go in here and see if we can't get... Oh, we came right in. Perfect timing. I can't build because there's a meteor shower. Let's let that meteor shower run its course. Oh, look at that. Got another one coming in 37 days. It's gonna require more boom boom. All set there. Alright, let's see if we can't make these people happy. Why are we unhappy? Decorations like that sometimes does do it. Okay. Works for me. And we'll go back out into the solar system view. There's not really much more you can do as far as trying to make them happy again. You just kind of gotta let it run its course. You could go ahead and put your rest level a little bit higher. That might do it. Yeah, you see they started going up now. But you're sacrificing work for their happiness. So still definitely don't go above 50%. They don't need to rest more than half a day. I'm almost thinking growing organs is something we need to get into just so we can get some recombination fuel. But we will keep looking for a nice maybe ship contract or a research contract that we can hammer out real quick, but super good. No, we won't use those for a while. It's a nice recombination fuel right there. Holy cow. Probably never use any more than that. Alright. Let it fly. $280, $116. Looks like we ran out of our carbon over here. Another 5,000. Still checking for that recombination. Ooh, right here. Minimum thrust is 56, though. I just have no idea where I'd store 194,000 of it. Alright, it's a good payout. It is a really good payout, but I don't think I could justify it. Not with that thrust requirement. That's a lot. So if we use nuclear engines, we could actually do that contract. But then you're also going to spend money on nuclear fuel. And let me just show you how much that's going to cost. Ow. Like, ow. Physically, ow. Thermonuclear jet fuel, that's not the stuff we need. I know it says jet fuel, but that's not the stuff we need. We don't even need the fusion fuel. Fusion fuel is for actually generating power on, like, a planet. Because I can't even tell you how large your ship will be if you try to do a fusion reactor on top of on there. Well, we'll just have to hope for that 2404 carrying us all the way there. I've had it happen before, but that was before 0.14 in our giant biotechnic rooms, so we'll see. Hurry it up. Ooh, what was that? Recombination. Yeah, not enough. How many points a day are we doing? Yesterday we did 19. On the Earth orbiter, Moon orbiter, you're doing about 33. Why is our Earth orbiter not doing as much? So, the heck? Oh, you know what it is? It's that research deficit. We don't have the research power. We might have enough carbon electronics to get away with that. We do. And it's actually nanosensors, not carbon electronics. Wow. Wow. That's a really good piece of equipment. 1080. And that requirement, as far as what you're using to build it, isn't all that much. Not bad at all. I'm not going to go through the vacate room process because it's going to delete everything in here, including the benches, and I don't want to get rid of those, so do that. Place. And that matches our computer power. Everybody say hi to my son, Nico. Saying hi to you. It's the way he says hi right now. Alright. Check our moonbound. Still at 63% happiness, but you know what? They're working. As long as they're working, I'm happy. 482 days. 146. You need to clear a cart. And restock for production. Now I know we are burning through a lot of money, but that's not a problem. Not a problem at all. Save it. Save it as often as you can, as often as you remember. Always, always, always. And if you think it's cheating to reload a save point, go look at every single game built before 2000. Every one of them have save and loads. Still looking for that one sweet recombination fuel reward. Just in case. Uh-oh. Power, 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 power. Power problem. As soon as you see a power problem, guys, that red bolt, that red little bolt, soon as you see it, pause your game. Do not let time go past. You will thank yourself because you're just losing power. You're losing time every single second that passes to fix it. And what we need to do is figure out. Alright, so it's a generation. It's a power generation problem. Because the orbit around Earth, you have equal distance, you have equal time in night as you do day. So you need exactly or more twice the amount of energy production as you are consuming. So we need about another 2,000 kilowatts power generation on this station. We need about another 20 of these bad boys. So I'm just gonna do this, do it once, and 40, 380. Oh, nope. Was that a 2? I think that was a 2, which makes that 40. And that's 120. And that's perfect. There we go. And waste no time to start. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And actually, I don't like that right there. That's bad. Bad, bad, bad. I just did a no-go. The reason why this is bad is because you just blocked your storage scale if you need to scale it up. That's how you scale your storage, is you go up on stations. You don't go down. And while I can go out with it, I don't want to. I like going up. Until I can't go up anymore, obviously. Still need more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. 3, 4, 5. That's all 20. On pause. Alright, it still says... Oh, see, and this is why I say pause. Because... Oh, well, actually, it worked out in this case. The sunrise is only in 36 minutes, so we're alright. We'll have 2 minutes of darkness on the station. They'll live. And there you go. Back to 100% capacity. Just checking the flashing lights, seeing the new contracts. Okay, we're good. We're gonna go out to our station view. I'm gonna check what's coming in. That's the stuff for that. This is the Earth orbiter. The Moon orbiter is good. We do need more iron, and I'm actually gonna go ahead and spring for the big package on this one because it'll probably be the last set of iron I purchase because I think we're good on everything. I'm actually only gonna do 10,000. Top off the carbon. There we go. And hurry up and wait. Recombination engines. So when we get to about 75% on the recombination engine, I'd say you could start checking for recombination engine research contracts to fulfill. That way you're getting paid for your recombination engine research. But before 25% at this rate, you know, you're going to run the risk of maybe having to cancel that contract. But we could definitely punch out 25% in a matter of a month, because it looks like recombination engines will give you about 30 days to do. And then, of course, if you're ever, you know, you really want to just completely 100% make sure you're going to have enough time, add up yesterday's total research. So 34 and 37, so you're doing 71. You're doing 71 points of research a day. Recombination requires 972. I'm pretty sure that you'll do that in 30 days. You can check my math if you really feel like you need to. But the math there is definitely adding up. So we can grab a recombination engine contract. I don't want to go for the thermonuclear jet fuel. I'm just going to be sitting there with it, hanging on to it. Really like to just get some money, but I'll have to keep checking back. Almost done with the recombination engines, and then we're blasting off. Normally, I am 100% against not getting paid for a research contract. You put the time and effort in, you know, you might as well get paid for it. But for something that's so important that we're literally hurrying up and waiting for, there is no reason to drag this out any longer. So if we don't get a research contract for recombination engines, whatever. But again, this is the only exception I ever do to that rule of, normally I would stop the research, wait for a contract, and then continue the research. I might for the recon, but let's not. I don't want to do plants yet. You got to keep your refractory materials up because that is part of repairs. Good on steel, good on water, good on carbon, good on CO2. So that's that for that. Rations are getting actually very, very low. So let's put another 1,000 of that. Pretty cheap anyway. Let's check here. Water's good, carbon's good, CO2, meh. We don't have to have CO2 just because we have the carbon. So we're good there. We're good. We're good. Ash. There we go. Keep checking the research contracts, guys. Just get paid for your work. Come on. And all those, almost 4 out of 6 countries were offering us research contracts for this. We almost should have taken them. Almost. Not entirely upset about it, but it's still just, you gave the world something for free. And if you're good at something, never do it for free. Recombination engines, yeah. Alright. Let's go to Moonbound. Switch to go to our spaceship engines, and remember our shortcut. We'll only need one. I guarantee you. Only need one. You could leave station to go out to your solar system view, or you could load into your other Earth orbiter. Either way. And then just from the cart. And we do have everything that we need, so we'll send that, and actually we will claim our reward because we want that recombination engine. Space tanks. We want that recombination fuel. So this might be a little confusing here. There's 2 keywords to look out for. Tanks. That refers to the liquid storage. I'd have to actually force the other one. I don't remember the other ones, but tanks is the keyword for liquid or gas storage. That's how you know, okay, I need to go put some more liquid tanks onto my station. That's no problem, because the Earth orbiter isn't going anywhere. It's staying right around here. We can add all the weight we want to it. And I think it said 52. This gives us 14, 28, 42, 56. And just for good measure. Oh, can't do that anyway. Oh, yeah, I'll do this. It's gonna end up getting moved anyway. Beautiful. Earth orbiter, I think, is already sending out goods. Hurry it up a little bit. There we go, switch 2. Well, our happiness hasn't moved, but we'll end up transferring this crew down to the station when when the time comes, because they're a lot happier on the ground, on the surface of any planet versus an orbiter until you get into artificial gravity. Recombination engines. There we go. Put it anywhere you want. Don't matter. Well, on the bottom. Can't put it all the way up here. Be hilarious. Now what we can do, leave the station. We only need maybe 15 days worth of supplies, because this trip is going to be shorter than a week, and in some cases shorter than 3 days. Oh, there are nothing. Oh, that's because it's going out of stock for those. So let's do this. Orbiter, send 50, 50, 50. Plenty. Plenty. Moonbound, you are going to send back 4,670. Carbon is heavy. Carbon is heavy. Get rid of it. Get rid of a lot of this stuff. Water's probably the exception. And that is what I call a purge. Get rid of all non-essential materials and personnel before you travel. They need to be transferred off to other stations, preferably one on the surface. Obviously, we can't do that now, otherwise we're getting rid of them, and we don't have $1 million to spare, nor do we want to get rid of reputation for a country. And besides, we're going to use all of these crew members later when we get to the moon. But you will see your patience pay off for getting those recombination engines. But you noticed earlier when we were sending to this station and purging Moonbound that we had a red number telling us the total weight for the transfer. That means the destination does not have enough storage space to take the full load. So, go here, and we have these nice, don't cost much, and you got plenty of nanomaterials. They're not doing anything. Steel's not expensive, and heck, you're about to get down on the moon, and you're going to be able to make all the basic resources that you need from the moon. So, spring out for this extra stuff. This is the first set of upgrades you're going to do to this station, and many others. But I also, these +8s are amazing. If you know of a better one, feel free to throw it in the comments, or, you know, tell me in the Discord if you see me in there. But until you get up to like the really, really big ones that take these kind of materials, the ultra lightweight strength and high strength ones, I'm telling you, you're gonna love these. I think that should take on that. The only thing we need to do is get rid of, not get rid of, but send our recombination fuel. And I'm just sending all of it because I don't want to leave any of it behind. Let's see if Moonbound's ready to go. 146 days of repairs, 691 rations, 5,000 water. I'd say it's good to go. We just gotta wait for that shuttle to leave and then we can calculate our trip. Let's go ahead and pause it so nothing really happens or affects our trip calculations. Okay. So if you get this, unable to find the route, more one shunting engines need to be installed. This does not refer to like a recombination engine. It's the small ones that don't require fuel that you start with. These. That is what that refers to. The only reason you would need another engine is if you lack the thrust. And in the early stages, before you even get to the asteroid belt, you will never exceed 2,000 kilonewtons of thrust requirements. It's just send me the save if you do. I will admit I'm wrong. So let's just install it wherever you want. And now it's ready to go. Alright, sorry about that interruption. We are back checking our trip to the moon. So, red bad. Okay, let's just break it down to like prehistoric lizard brains. Red bad. Okay. This means you don't have enough meteor protection, which is your guns. And this means you don't have enough fuel. Delta V is your fuel. But if you adjust your travel time, departure, you can find a different trip. Hey, look at that. Now 17 days is a lot. I'm not willing to settle for that. I cannot believe that we need that much more. I wonder how much fuel does it say we're actually going to use? I wish it actually kind of told you that. What is making it so heavy? Alright, let's do this. Check one last time. I want to purge the fuel. Calculator. No. We can do this. Let's just check 5. 31, 38. Okay, see, so we're not actually that far off. If we could, I bet you we could purge more. We have how many days? 146. Holy gosh. Alright. Yeah. All of that. All of that. 250. 300. 300. 300. 100. If I want to get really drastic, I'm probably... I would make a ship that does not have all these extra things that the Moonbound does have. But I just could not wait anymore for that research to keep going. So we're going to get aggressive with our purge. Select destination. Still 7. Holy. Ow. It's just the size of the ship. That's all it is. Just can't get away from it. Saw 4.8 in there. 3.2? Where's that 3.2? 3.3. 12 days. Ain't bad. 3.3. Look at that. And actually, we'll be able to carry extra fuel. We got 58 days of repairs on here. Alright. Awesome. Cancel. Oops. It's first Earthbound. Send over 2,000 recombination fuel. And then let's go to Moonbound and fix the laser guns. This will adjust a little bit of the trip, but if, you know, I went ahead and sent extra, then the Delta V calculator for required extra fuel. So I think we'll be good still. We do need to get that, 100 of that. That'll do. Right there. Alright, it's got everything we need. Save. Final checks. 55 days of current repairs. We do not need to worry about crafting. 1900 water is plenty. 685 is also plenty. Let's get our trip to the moon going. There we go. And look at that. 9 days instead of 12. Oh, no way. What happened? 2 days. Three days. We have 4.1. I wonder how much 5.2 would require. $24.28? Do we have $24.28? Oh, you're short by 24. That's ridiculous. Alright, let's find that sweet spot again. That sweet trip. There we go. We'll leave on July 30th. 5 days. So it'll take a total of 14. 55. Plenty. Alright. Set that trip. Save once again. And fast forward. So keep an eye, because you can cancel the trip before it departs. Once it has departed, though, that's it. But that's why you save. In case anything goes wrong, you could go ahead and go back and then anticipate for it. We really shouldn't have to worry about water or carbon. They'll kind of recycle themselves with this small of a crew. So as long as our rations doesn't run out, we are good. We are going to the moon, people, and we're staying there. Here we go. Already en route. Uh-oh. Yep, and this is what I'm talking about. Look at this, guys. Killed the whole crew. What the heck? If you want to, keep the autosave checked. I didn't anticipate the need for more diffusers. Load the stream. Back to Moonbound. Pause. Switch. Alright. Try that again. 1, 2, 3. Wait. 2? 2? Let's just do this. Cancel the trip. Buy. Clear. Switch. Alright. Back into protection. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you know, that's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes. And that is why you save at every opportunity that you can. Alright. There's another 6 diffusers. That should do it. Save it again. Pause so we can go find our trip. Well, that was easy. Alright. Round 2. Looks like our temperature is doing much better this time around. Really just a hurry up and wait game right now. Not bad salaries. We'll have plenty of money and resources when we get there to build our first moon colony, our first planetary colony, really. Not going to look for any colony contracts just yet. I don't, because we're not even on the surface. I don't want to collect one, and they take a while. So my thing is I usually build the colony to what contract I'm looking for. You know, the average is about 25 to 30 colonists for the moon for each country. So that's what I'll build. I'll build an entire colony again. Won't stock it until the infrastructure is all the way there. And then I'll hire the whole crew right before I finish the contract. But I don't accept the contract until the colony is already built. And the first colony that I build does not go to anybody. That one is, I keep that for myself because that becomes my main hub. That, honestly, my moon, the very first colony I lay down on the moon is usually what feeds the rest of my game. It ends up becoming like a 200 to 300 soul establishment. Creating all the high-tech equipment that you can even think of, and you cart stuff in as you expand. But for the most part, the moon does have a nice layout of resources that it requires to get you. You just need better equipment. Slow at first with better equipment, and scaling your colony as far as the crew size is concerned is the key to keeping resources as you scale the size of the colony in total. And there we go. Successful, of course, with one whoopsie. Successful landing on the moon. And it took us less than a year. So that's going to conclude it for this one. Next episode, we will select our, I guess, home on the moon. Select our home location. Maybe a nice, crater view. Definitely somewhere around the poles, but I'll get into all that on the next one. See you then. Happy colonizing.